Hi, well, welcome. My name's Bob.
I'm Amy.
Amy, nice to meet you.
I'm Elaine.
Elaine, nice to meet you. So I understand that you self-referred for mediation today,
That's right.
and I'm here to help you with that. And first thing I want to know is that you still would like to hear a little bit of introduction about, what
Yeah.
what's going to go on here today?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me explain. I'm here to help you have a conversation about the things that are important to you, and I'm here to help support the both of you in that conversation. My role is not going to be to tell you what to do, to offer advice, or to offer solutions. It's simply to allow you the space to have a conversation and talk about those things that you feel are really important. Everything you say here is strictly confidential. I cannot take anything out, I will not, and anything that goes out of the room will just be what you take out. You might see me taking notes, but be assured that that's just so I can sort of keep up with your conversation, and those will be destroyed at the end of the meeting. So everything, as I said, is going to be strictly confidential, and as we go on, if you feel you need a break, certainly, just ask me, and we can take a break, or I might ask you a break, and we can do that. Sometimes during the conversation, one of the parties may feel that there are things that they need clarity in their own mind that they don't feel comfortable about talking with both of you, and we can have a private session. Either one of you can request that, and I would go with you, and we could have a small session, and then that would be kept completely private and confidential. We wouldn't bring any of that back. Sometimes parties feel that in order to have a conversation, they like to set ground rules. So if you'd like to do that, that's perfectly up to you. You might feel you don't want to talk about this topic or that topic. Whatever you decide is entirely up to you. So again, the important thing from my perspective is that I'm not here to have you do things that I feel are important. It's what you feel is important. And I'm not looking for any particular goal. The outcome is entirely up to you and your conversation. Briefly, that's basically what my role is going to be here today. Do you have any questions?
No, I don't think so.
Good. So, given that introduction, is this something you feel like to go forward with?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
I think we need to. So let me give you a little, we're here because our mother, who is 90, has lived on a farm in the farmhouse that we grew up in. I don't live here anymore. I moved. We've agreed, she moved, we had to move her into an assisted living. That's the one,
Well, that's what you want to do. She's still in the hospital.
okay, she's still in the hospital, but she's gonna have to go. So the house needs a lot of, the house, I don't want her going back to the house, you're right. I don't want her going back to the house. The house has too many, needs repairs, it's huge, it's upstairs, she'd have to go to go to bed.
So your mother's at a point where you have her in assisted living now temporarily.
Well, she's in the hospital, you're right. I do want her to go into assisted living because I don't live here and I can't help.
And I do live here, and I'm the one that helps her when she needs help and when she's at home. And I don't think that we should take the home away from our mother. If that's where she wants to spend the rest of her years, then why shouldn't she be allowed to do that?
So it's important for you that your mother remain in her house and not go
She
into
loves that
assisted living.
house. She's not gonna just easily say, yes, let me go to assisted living. This is gonna be a battle to the end.
It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult for your
Yes.
mom to make that transition.
Yes, and she won't go lightly. And, that's not how I wanted to spend my last time with her, fighting about kicking her out of her house.
Well, I think she's not going to be able to go back. And I don't want to be kicking her out. She's 90 years old, okay? Excuse me. And I think she's going to, I think we have a few things we have to agree upon. Where she goes when she leaves the hospital. You want her to go back home. I don't think that's going to be in her best interest.
There's probably some kind of hospital temporary rehab
She's gonna have to go
facility
rehab. She's gonna have to go.
until, her leg gets completely healed, but.
She broke her leg because she fell down the steps because she insists to keep sleeping upstairs because there's really there's really no place for her downstairs because there's no bathroom, full bath downstairs.
So she injured
She's been pretty
herself
good.
in the house and ended
Right.
up.
But the house, it's cold. I mean, she's not gonna be able to go back to that house the way she's gonna need rehab. And I think, and, you know, like I said, I don't live here. I grew up there. The house isn't to me, and I think I think you're saying that the house is more to you. I think it means so much
Well,
to
it
you.
does. Elaine, we grew up there.
I realize
don't-
that, but I left. As soon
She's
as I got out of
gone. I mean,
college,
she's
I've
been out of
never.
here forever, so I don't even know why she gets to say in any of this.
So Elaine, because she's been away, has not had the time to be with her mother in this house, which sounds like it's very important for you and your mother.
Yes, and if I'm the one that's there with her and willing to, you know, help her out when she gets back home, then what does she even care?
Because I don't think it's safe for our mother.
You know what
to
she
be-
wants? She just wants my mother out so we can sell the house, and she just wants money.
So it's the money that you feel is most important to her in regards to the house.
Elaine just wants the money.
That's pretty unfair, because I have been gone. I have never asked,
I know.
I've never asked her for money. I come back, I visit mother, you know, when I get back into town, a couple times a year, I come back, you know.
So you've been out of town, but it really hasn't affected, you feel, your relationship with your mom
No,
in the house?
I
You do
separate,
visit.
I know my mother loves that house, but I think Amy is putting herself in that house more than, you know, it was, maybe you have better memories of that house. You've
I
been
do.
there, you know, I don't have the
love
greatest memories of living in that
yard
house.
and the creek that runs
Yeah.
down in the front, and all of our children have played there, and you know the grandchildren, and you know it's a really wonderful property. Like, why would we want her out and her together? I mean, I think you need to look at this because she's got an ulterior motive here. Like, she wants money. But I feel like that there's some really simple things we could do that could make that house accommodating for her.
So you feel that, you know, the house is important because you grew up there and a lot of important memories. Nice property that's got a
Yes.
creek running
Yes.
through, and you've had good experiences there. But you also feel that Elaine is not interested in those aspects. Elaine, you're talking about the house in terms of, you know, this is going to be difficult for your mom to take, you know, to come back to. There need to be, you know, she fell down the steps and that put her in the hospital, and you feel that this is a burden.
It's not unsafe place, and I resent the fact that you think I want the money. I don't know why you think I want the house sold for money purposes.
Well,
Because mother, if she went into assisted living, is gonna need that money. So I, take the money off the table when it comes, how is she going to afford? And I know, that's probably the other thing, you don't want her in assisted living, but
Well,
if she has to go into an assisted living, she needs to have some money. I mean, it's not gonna be all social security probably, I mean, she's gonna have to have something to have in it, I don't wanna throw her in some,
I know, so
place.
why not, the house is paid for, there's no more mortgage on it or anything, the woman's 90, she's been there forever, so why can't she just stay where, like, we don't have to waste a lot of money
Who-
on assisted living care?
You're gonna take care of her. You're gonna be there, or you're gonna be there every day to take care of her. I'm not gonna be there.
I know you're not.
I'm not. I'm gonna
Um,
be very honest. I can visit her. I am not gonna be able to come and, you know, I have my life, you know, she's lived on her own for a very long time without either of us. Then we had another sister who died, but she's, you know, so it all falls on you. So, you know,
So you understand, for mom to get rid of that house, it's kind of like, you know, Susie's death all over again if she has to leave that place. She can't leave that place. It's just, it's her emotional stronghold, threshold. It's how she gets through her day. She loves the outdoors. She loves her porch. Like, how do you see her living in like a 9 by 12 room?
So I mean, it's important. It sounds like it's important for your mom to maintain this house because her quality of life. It
That's
sounds
how
like you're
she's
talking a
gotten
lot
to
about that's
90.
important to you.
Yes. Like, I think that's how she, you know, lives. Not stuffed in a nursing home in a 9 by 12
Doesn't-
room and eating
it's
nasty
not,
food.
it's not it doesn't have to be a nursing home. It could be an assisted living where she still was cooking. Before she fell, she'd make, how often would you go visit her? How often did you
You know,
see her?
I maybe only once a week.
Right. So she lived on her own. without anybody helping her,
So-
other than somebody checking in
So
on
she was
her.
supporting herself on her own,
And she
in
was
her
doing
house.
good, so I, and nobody had to, I appreciate the fact, Amy, that you would be there, because she was there for her. Our other sister wasn't around, and I'm not around, so Amy has the brunt of it. I'm hoping, trying to help you not have to, she's gonna need somebody. She's going to need somebody for a long,
So why not bring people in?
and where's
To
the
the
money gonna come from? That's the
Well,
thing.
it's
I don't
gonna-
think she's gonna get in, I don't think she's gonna have the money to have somebody come in and be 24. She's gonna need 24-hour care. At least, that's what I'm saying. Let her go into an assisted living for a few months. Let her try it. She might like it.
So you would put her in assisted living, sell the house, and then she'll never be able to go back.
I'm trying to look further down the road than you are. I'm looking eventually, that's what we're gonna have to do. But I'm willing to say, why don't she go from the hospital to rehab, because that's what they're looking, right now, they're looking for her to get into some rehab. And then, maybe because she'll be in rehab, then she can try an assisted living before even, but the house is gonna have to be sold at some point, because she's gonna need some money to live.
So Elaine, you feel that now is the right time, so your mother's gonna go into rehab, and you're looking way, down the road to the future, saying, mom's gonna probably end up in assisted living. This may be the perfect time to make that transition. You can sell the house and use the money that you gain from that to pay for the financial burden that would be there for your mother to be in assisted living. And
Right.
it sounds like that's a good solution for you, thinking about what's going to be
Because
happening.
I'm not gonna be here. I'm just
I
not
know,
gonna be
which
here.
makes it nice and neat and tidy for you, and you don't have to carry any guilt when you go on back to California or wherever you're living.
I don't feel guilty. I do not feel guilty. I'm trying to do this so I don't feel guilty. I want her,
Right, but what if
Because
that's
then-
not what's best for her?
you don't know what's not. See, I think you can't get yourself out of that house. You don't know what's best. She may decide that, you know what, it's time to give up all that. She did her own work.
Well,
She did her own
if
cleaning. She
If
did her own
she
cleaning.
wants to
But you're
move
not
out,
But you're not even
think I-
get moving beyond,
Elaine, she and I spend, time together weekly, and sometimes more than that. So I do know that, we've talked about all her other friends who have gone to live with other children or go into these other homes. And I can honestly tell you, this woman does not want to leave her house.
So she really doesn't want to leave the house. And
No.
you've had the discussions with her, and there have been friends of hers that have gone to assisted living, and you say she just said that's not for her.
But you have not had these discussions with her since she's injured herself and been in the hospital and been in pain and been, on her
No,
road.
but,
Right.
you
So
know,
it's-
she's healing and, we don't, I guess maybe, we don't know yet. Like, I think you're trying to too far down the road.
Well, I
and-
am looking down the road. I'm looking because, and I do not feel guilty. I don't feel guilty putting her in a place that would be take care of, where she'd have somebody at least,
I just
checking
think she
in on
would
it.
just be so confined and bored to tears, and that's just not her environment. I mean, she'll die sooner if we put her in that home than if she can live at home.
So living at home is very important for your mom, and the environs of being in her home are important to her, and it sounds like you're saying that her health really depends on that. It's very
I just
important
think
to her.
she will be depressed if she has to leave that house.
so I'm going back. So who's gonna stay with her?
Well,
I can't. So,
I know you
so,
can't.
I'm,
How do we know she's not gonna be able to, make her own meals and kind of take care of herself?
at
again?
what
I
point?
mean,
At what point? That's what I'm saying to you, that she leaves the hospital, she goes to rehab, we know that. I'm saying, why don't we take her from rehab into another assisted type living so that she can at least, if she's gonna totally recoup, we don't know. She may be in a wheel, she may have to have, a brace, who knows? We're not sure how well she's gonna heal.
a lot of times you just can't even show up at one of these places and they have room for you.
But the social workers now will, at least when she's in rehab, will start looking at a facility.
So, let me just summarize some of the things you've been talking about, because you're both talking about this house, and your mother in this house, and you're talking about two different perspectives about, Amy, you're talking about how important this house has been for your mom. It's a comfortable place for her. It's a beautiful home, it has nice surroundings, it has great memories. That you're there to visit, and you feel that it's too early to talk about going into assisted living, and maybe you'd like a little bit more time to discuss that with your mom. Elaine, it sounds like you were, looking down the future and saying, now's the time. We need to look to the future, and mom's in the hospital, she fell, and this house is too much for her. She can do some things. You said she cooks on her own, does those things. But you see it as, now's the time. We should really be thinking about moving her permanently into an assisted living, situation. And financially, we can take care of that by selling the house. And you worry that if your mom's at home and she needs help or extra help, who's gonna be there? Well, you did mention that Amy
Because I'm not
sometimes
gonna
is
be
there,
there,
but
and,
you can't be.
I mean, are you gonna move in? Are you and your husband gonna move in with her?
Well, that's not my first thought, no.
Right.
I still think she's got some good years left. I don't think she needs someone 24/7. A nurse can come by, once or twice a day.
You think that?
Someone-
You think when she gets out of rehab, she'll be back on her own and just need somebody to check in on her?
We can organize meals for her if she needs them for a little bit of time.
So organizing meals, having somebody come in.
We
isn't-
can get one of those little chair things and take her up the steps.
That house is, those stairs are so rickety.
I know, but
That house
you
needs
can-
work. That house,
But
that's a
that-
whole nother story.
My husband is so handy.
Yeah.
You know that we could do all that.
You can make adjustments to the house.
Yes.
Just
Put in
when
a
he's-
chairlift, brings nurse in occasionally, and you feel that is an easier transition, not to jump immediately to something like assisted living.
Yeah.
For
She
the
just
work that
wants to
needs,
get money.
no, the work that needs to be done on that house, your husband would not want to be there doing all that work. I can tell, there's a lot of work.
So then,
You could not do you could not do one of those stair things, that rickety rail, he's not gonna do that. He's not, you've been married to him for 40 years, you think he's gonna do that?
you strongly feel that this
He would
is
do
not
that
going to be
for
done,
her. He
not,
would do that.
And I appreciate the fact that you think he would do it, but I'm
I
saying
still-
that house needs way, way, way more work than
so there's a
any
lot
one
of
person
work to
can
be
do.
done, and one person can't handle.
Unless you wanna buy the house. Do you wanna? Do you wanna, I don't need the money, but I just think she's gonna have to have money, and that's where her money, she doesn't have a lot of savings. Our father died when, when she was in her 50s, so she's been 40 years on her own, basically, with, do you think she can? She doesn't have much.
Whether she does or she doesn't, whatever money she has, I think we can arrange to have people come into the home instead of her have to leave it.
And who's gonna do all that? You are.
Yeah. This is why I don't get why you have
Because
such
I'm
strong
trying-
opinions. I'm not asking you to do anything.
Because it's my mother too. I'm allowed to have an opinion about
And
my
so
mother,
you're
right?
gonna put your mother in a nursing home where she's gonna be miserable and not
We
have
don't
any
know that, though. We
familiarity
don't know
and
that.
surroundings
We don't know
and,
that.
leave her home that she's been in for a lifetime and stuff it all into 9x12 room with a recliner chair.
So this makes no sense to you.
And basic cable
You-
TV. That's
This
it.
is not real what you pictured for your mom. You
No.
really don't see her living in those conditions after being in the house. And you said you'd really be willing to come in and help as much as you can. And why does it bother Elaine? Because, she's, living
It would
away.
be better if she moved back and helped.
That ain't happening.
You
It's
can't
not
come back,
gonna
you're not
happen.
gonna come
No,
back.
and you know that. That's not happening.
Well,
I can't.
I
I can't
your
do it, and I
choice.
won't do it.
Then don't.
I left for a reason, I left, and I'm not coming back, and, like I said, the house isn't that, I don't have those memories. I'm glad you have wonderful memories of that house. That house has not been,
Your children have memories there. I bet they would come back.
they're not gonna be coming back. Everybody's, they weren't raised there. Your kids were raised there.
So your children
No,
have
I
no
don't
connection
have
to the
any,
house. and-
that's a whole, it's
You're
not my
You're not
homestead.
gonna go there today?
No.
Like why you left? and
No,
all
no,
that
no,
jazz?
no, of course
Oh,
not. That's
of
not
course
why
not.
we're here. We're not here for that reason. I'm
Well,
here
you know.
hoping to help you because you're gonna have it all dumped on you, and I'm telling you right now, I'm not gonna be able.
Oh, and you just
No,
can't
I
do
can't
this.
do
You're
it.
not,
I
you're gonna
can't
be
do it.
away, it's firm, you're
I
not
can't do
coming
it
back,
because I
and
live
you
too
don't.
far, and emotionally, I'm not doing it either. So
So-
if you wanna take on that whole burden, you know, I can help put mom in some kind of, help her get into what's wrong with trying it for after rehab? Just tell her it's temporary. What's wrong with that?
So you wanna keep the house and?
No, I'm saying that if we can convince her to get into a temporary, from rehab, into a living situation, and then see if she gets settled. If she gets settled, and she's okay, and your emotions aren't in, and if your emotions are into the house, you buy it. If it means that much to you, you
Well,
buy it.
I
You
might.
buy it from
I-
her. I don't need to have it. I don't need any of the money from that house. You buy it and you support mom in her assisted living.
So money's not the issue here. for
Money's
you,
not the
Elaine.
issue. You keep thinking it's the issue. It's not the issue. So I'm gonna tell you right now on the table, money's not the issue.
She's just,
No,
You don't
I'll tell
believe
you
that,
right now.
or You feel that she
you can
should
tell
say
there's a
that.
part of, the story we're not able to tell today, because Elaine doesn't think it's relevant, and, we're not gonna
We're
go
not here
down
for that.
road.
We're not
So-
here for
So
that.
Bob, there's the, part we're not gonna talk about, then there's the part where Elaine wants to tell everybody what to do, even though she's not here dealing with boots on the ground, kind of work, and,
So there are other things going, you feel there are other things going
yeah,
on that
there's a lot more
aren't
to the
being
story
brought
than
up. So
she's
it's not simply
putting
about
on
the
table
house.
today. No. I mean, the what she put us through, in these earlier years that she's not referencing today is a whole nother reason why my mom and I are so very close, and I know she doesn't want to leave that house. I mean, our other sister died, Elaine left, and so really it's me and mom here. And I think
Yeah.
you missed the whole thing, and
So she has a different perspective because she was not there, and you've been with your mom, and you're very close to your mom, and you feel you have a really good understanding of what her needs are now, and because of these past experiences, you feel Elaine does not
She-
share that.
even in the hospital, like, I take her coffee every day because the hospital coffee is just crap, Elaine doesn't know that she doesn't drink the hospital coffee. She needs fresh fruit. They have, canned pineapple there, that's it. So, I make sure that either I or one of her friends is bringing her, these things that, she loves to have on hand every day. She just doesn't get it.
So the coffee, the oranges, these
Yeah.
are things you bring to her because you know that she likes them and they're important to her.
And I just think she's gonna lose her spirit and lose her whole affect if she doesn't get to stand.
So Amy, then tell me, what's your goal? What are you gonna do now? What's your plan for mother? You got it
Well-
all figured out, and I'm just, I've got an ulterior motive, is what you think. So go ahead, tell me what you're gonna do.
I'm just gonna wait. She's gonna, she's in the hospital, but she'll head to rehab for maybe 4 or 6 weeks, and we've got some time.
And then what? She's gonna be released from rehab. Okay, we're 6 weeks down the road after. Now what?
Well, hopefully she's capable of moving around the house again, maybe with a cane or something.
And where's she sleeping? Gonna climb the stairs to the bedroom?
Well, we could put a hospital bed in the living room
And
for her.
a porta potty, a little potty chair for
Well,
her.
there's a half bath on the floor.
Yeah, but she can't take a shower. She can't get in. She always takes a shower upstairs. So,
Well,
okay, you've got it all figured out. She's got it all figured out.
Do you think that,
Okay.
Amy has it all figured out and that's fine,
Yeah.
let her do, but it sounds like you're a little bit
Hey,
hesitant.
if she wants to keep harping on the fact that it's all about money, then you know what? I wash my hands from it. You have the house, you take care of mother, I'll come visit her. But don't pull any of this that I don't do anything for her.
well, what do you do?
I'm not doing anything for her. I'll
Okay.
come and visit her, but I don't agree with you at all that you're gonna put her back in that house. I do not agree with that.
So you don't agree,
I don't agree
and you
with
just
it.
don't want to, you want to
I'm
wash your
gonna-
hands of
right,
it.
because
If
if
that's
you
the
want it-
decision, that's the decision, and you'll come and visit.
I'll visit
But
her. I have a
that's
good
it.
relationship with my mother. Granted, you've been her favorite child. I'm not gonna, you've been there. And I'm very happy. I appreciate the fact that you have been there for her all along. I very much appreciate it. Because I don't have the guilt feelings that you think I have. I don't. I mean, I moved away and, I lived my life. I came back, You may, have talked to her, but
She just makes it sound so simple. I mean, do you
No.
know her? I moved away. I have no guilt.
I don't.
So
I make
this
it sound simple. You're the one that has all this burden on you, and you're letting all this burden come back on you, and you're going to continue to let that burden, because that's the type of person you are. You want to get to that? You want to get to that, or you want to just take care of mother?
You know, I guess it's my choice. If
That's
I
right.
feel that, my husband and my family are willing to let me put her first for this period of time, then that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
So you really strongly believe that you've got your mom's best interests in mind right now, and you're willing to support her in
I mean-
whatever way she's, you see she needs help,
It is.
temporary nursing care, whatever. You want to make that effort to, see that your mom's happy and comfortable.
Why can't Elaine, just,
I'm right here. You can ask me. I'm right here. Why can't I what?
you thank me, you're
I-
like, oh,
I appreciate
you're
what you-
there. You
Yeah.
say you appreciate it.
But I think it's-
you refuse to think about, are there other ways you could help? You could help financially if you wanted to, relieve some of my burden, and.
I am trying to relieve your burden by not putting mother back in the house. What don't you understand about that? That is a burden to you, and I'm trying to keep that burden. Take your emotions out of that house right now, and think about mother.
So Elaine, take
Think
the
about
emotions
mother.
out,
Just for the next.
relieve the burden, you're
Yeah.
bringing this on yourself,
Yeah.
relieve the burden, sell the house, put mom into an assisted
And
living.
you don't even have to sell it right away.
But you just don't get it. What's best
This is
for
not
mom
working.
is for her to stay in that house. So why not
Ma-
find a way to help support me do that?
Maybe we need to have another conversation with mother, now that she's been in the hospital and has to go to rehab. You admit it. You've not had this conversation with putting her back in the house since she got hurt.
Okay, I
You
can
know,
95% guarantee you what she's going to say.
So you're both talking about the effects on your mom, and Amy, you see what makes your mom happy and comfortable is being in her own home, being in comfortable surroundings, having the assistance you can provide when she needs it, and that you don't really see this as the proper time to move her into this next phase, which may or may not be coming. You
I think
want to see this
we need to find a
transition.
way to help her die there, if that's what she wants. If she wants to be at home, then she gets that.
She may live another 10 years, let's hope that she lives another 10 years. But you're willing to give up your family for a while to help her then? Okay.
No, I mean, yes, but no. I just don't understand why you can't help support this path.
I will help
You only will support the path of moving her into assisted living.
Because that's how much I feel. If I'm gonna spend money, guess what? I'm gonna pick where I'm gonna put that money. And I'm not putting it back into the house.
So you want to choose where your money
I
goes.
wanna
Right
choose,
now,
I
you
will
don't
help support,
see.
I can help support, but it's not gonna be so that we can have somebody come into the house. So you pick. If you wanna be the person to take care of her, I'm not willing to throw out money to you because a house.
So you won't help me.
I will help put her into an assisted living for a short period of time. I'm not just after rehab, and we'll give it a couple of months. And if she doesn't like it, I'm more than happy to say, okay, you win, you got it. She wants to go back home, and we move her back home. And
So our period is open to you.
no, I'm not saying you have to sell the house as soon as she goes to rehab. I'm saying, let her go to rehab. Put her in, step to the next where she's got somebody watching her. It relieves you. You can go visit her every day, but you're not spending 24 hours because she's going to need 24-hour care.
So Lee, what sounds like, you said it a few times, really important for you, it seems, is to relieve some of the burden, financial and time-wise, on
But she
your
doesn't.
sister.
She doesn't.
Well,
You don't get it. You don't get it because
No,
you
I get it. you were so adamant about, I'm only doing this and I refuse to consider that. So now that you've, said we can go back the other way.
I think I said at the beginning,
that's what Mom wants.
I think I said at the beginning, let's go these steps and see how this works, and let's move her into the assisted living.
Yeah, but you've also drawn the line, and
I'm-
there's no movement, and that's all.
No,
It's my way or the highway. Good luck.
No,
to
I'm
you.
just saying I'm not gonna,
So there's no option, you say there's no,
I didn't feel
it's
like
one
there was any
way,
option.
this way,
but-
my way,
And then she's
take it or
gonna sell
leave
the
it.
house right away.
no, I didn't, no. That's fine, we don't have to sell the house right away, but, I envision she's never gonna go back into that house.
So,
That's
so,
that's just what I think, you know?
so let me just check in for a second. 'Cause you've talked for a while, you put a lot on the table. You both talked about how this house is important, you know, in different ways to both of you. You've talked about how, you know, you have different views about where we should go, what's gonna happen soon. Does mom have to go into, you know, immediately into assisted living, or is there a transition period? You've talked about the importance this house holds for both of you. Elaine, you said that you
No,
moved away a
not-
long time and
Yeah.
few memories. And Amy, you're saying, well, it's very different for you, and as circumstances have it, you're familiar with your mom and all these memories, and you want to maintain some of that. So, and it sounded like, you know, Elaine, near the end, you were saying, well, you know, maybe there could be a period where you know, you would consider mom, you know, let's see how mom, you know, views this and when she comes into rehab. So you've talked about a lot of things. Would you, you know, are there other things you want to discuss? Do you want to continue along these lines? Where do you want to, what would you like to talk about?
I want to hear her say again that after mom's done with rehab, even after rehab, she might have an opinion. If she's there for 4 to 6 weeks, whether she wants to, you know, well, go home or do more assisted living.
But
which
there may
everybody
be
is
social
gonna
worker
wanna
or
go
somebody at
home.
rehab that might say she's not ready to go back home without 24 hours assistance. So that's what I'm saying.
I think insurance covers that. It's,
I don't know, I haven't looked into that. You can take care of all of her social security, Medicare, all